What's going on, guys? It's Matt Marino for Real Estate Recovery Group, and my co-chair today is Robert Coronado. And Robert is a real estate agent, and he's also project manager for a construction company. Robert's been a real estate agent now for 4 years. Smart, very smart, Rob. You got involved in real estate on the real estate side, being a realtor, so you could understand more about flipping houses, or as banking doesn't want to hear about flipping houses, turning houses,
Right.
and also doing buy and holds on properties, which for me, I think is really smart. You found a little niche for yourself. You love working with first-time home buyers. You like working with buyers. You like working with sellers. You love working with investors. You like working with first-time investors, first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
You're a very well-rounded person, well-rounded individual, and I'm going to give you props.
Thank you.
Most people that get involved in real estate want to find the fastest route out of their 9-to-5 job. But you still work in project management. You still work for, that side of the industry.
Right.
So you're not afraid of hard work. And let's face it, you're raising a little football team there. You got 3 kids, you got 2 dogs, and you got a lovely wife that supports you. And I got to tell you, behind every great man is a wonderful woman, and you're very fortunate for that. So I thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and coming on today.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
That was quite an entrance.
Well, listen, the intro was definitely needed. You're a funny guy. I get your personality. I get who you are as an individual. You could tell you definitely care. You're a mellow guy, but I could see you probably get upset over the things that really matter. And I think that in the real estate industry, people become alarmists and they feel like, hey, I got to get you a house as soon as possible.
Oh, yeah, no.
Because the market's going to change. Or I got to get your house as soon as possible because I got my mortgage payment coming up. Or I'm getting ready to put a deck on the back of my house and I'm in desperate need of the money. But every time I've had a conversation with you, Rob, it's always been about the people before the profit. And that's huge. So that means a lot to me. And I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day, obviously for jumping on here.
Yeah.
I do have a couple of questions I want to ask. Is there anything you want to talk about, or is there anything you want to basically, maybe give a little bit of an intro, like, who are you? Like, who is Robert?
Where's Robert? No, I'm just a regular guy.
Who is Robert?
I'm just a regular guy. It's I just want to I have goals set in life that I'm trying to get to, and I just have it mapped out right now that I'm working towards for my family. So hopefully, God willing, we'll get there. Nothing comes easy in life. That's why I try to teach my kids. And I know sometimes it's I miss out sometimes with them, but they understand what I got to do. Mm-hmm. So, I'm appreciative of that.
Well, that's important. Obviously, family before anything else. It's funny. I am going to be this weekend one of the guest speakers at a real estate expo. And it's an online event, which is fine, but it's Saturday. But it's also my son's birthday. So I said, look, I'll do it, but I got to be able to speak earlier in the day. And then, then I had to go back to my 11-year-old who's going to be 12. And he's like, he's sitting in his gaming chair, leaning back and go, all right, I understand you got to get work done. This is my 12-year-old. Yeah. I understand you get work done. What's in it for me? Because it's my birthday. It's my birthday. That's the day I was born, So I'm laughing. I'm like, oh, what is it? Well, it's going to cost me a shitload of money. But at the end of the day, it's okay. I respect that. That's the type of kids that I'm raising.
Yeah.
They know the value of a dollar and all that other good jazz. Rob, I got a couple of questions I want to ask.
Sure.
Based on what I've seen and what you're doing. Basically, who is Rob? What have you been up to as far as real estate over the last 4 years?
Right now I'm trying to finish up my first investment, my investment property in Bogota. It's it's a fix and flip. So that's keeping me pretty busy, along with my regular 9 to 5, and also servicing a whole bunch of my clients and buying and selling. It's just been a pretty busy year, thank God. People thought that with everything that when COVID hit, that it was going to slow up the market, but it really just kind of ramped it up. And thank God I have my wife with me, so she any client that I can't handle, I move it to her, and she takes care of it. She does a really good job. I was working as a team. I know my limits. I'm not one of those like realtors that say, I'm closing a whole bunch of properties at a time. I'm like, I can deal with maybe like 4 to 5 clients max. I don't want to spread myself thin. I want to be able to give them all the same amount of attention. So that's what I do with that. And as far as the flip goes, I have a good bunch of guys that's being able to take care of that for me without me having to be always on top of them. So that's great.
So you basically just stated that your wife is in real estate as well.
Yeah.
And the both of you work for a company called Modern Realty.
Yes, sir.
So my question to you is that there's so many different name brands out there. Why Modern Realty? What is it about Modern Realty that works for you?
Hello, Matt.
Yep, you there?
I'm sorry. Yep. Yeah. Sorry, man. I got introduced to Modern from a friend, Vanessa Robles. You've dealt with her in the past. She put me in. She got me in touch with Dave and Gus, and right off the bat, those they're stand-up dudes, and I appreciate it. And it's a very small brokerage, but it has like a very family feel to it. Everyone helps each other out. There's no one there that there's no like jealousy involved in anything like that. And I really like that. Coming from a construction company that's family owned, and it's small as well. It's I'm familiar with that feeling. So that's why I chose that brokerage.
Gotcha, understood. And obviously, I've been there. I've spoke a couple of times, to the office and people there. I think the first time I was there, I did not get a warm welcome.
I heard about that. That was crazy.
Which was okay. I actually, I did work with Vanessa on a short sale.
Yeah.
And that's a story for another time. But that was a deal that was going nowhere. And when I spoke with the homeowner understood. He got it. And it was a transaction. It really wasn't going to go anywhere. But ultimately it did close, and everybody was happy, which was great. That's a short version of that. But yeah, so no, there was not a warm reception when I first went there the first time. But going forward, and then talking with some of the agents individually, I've had the pleasure of working with, other people within the office, which is great. Not everybody gets the distressed side of this industry. Not everybody wants to do it. In fact, 9 out of 10 real estate agents do not want to get involved in short sales.
Oh no, I don't. That's why I'm like, it's that when I went to your boot camp, man, I'm like, you know what? I know what to do from here. Just call Matt. Just go.
And I appreciate that, but I think because of the way that the industry's been tarnished, and the lack of training and or people that have failed at the short sale aspect of it, it's basically given them a bad taste in their mouth. So I'm trying to like win people over and letting them know about, really, hey, look, you find out your options, find out the homeowner's options, and obviously putting the people before the profit. People laugh at me when I say that, or they think it's like it's bullshit. But the reality is, once I put the people before the profit and got on social media, my business exploded, not only in Jersey, but, in other aspects in other states. So, your wife, People within the office over at Modern, they understand what I'm up to, and obviously that's important. So, which leads me to my next question. What made you get into real estate? What was the burning desire to get into it? And did you get in it before or after your wife?
Well, we've been together for 17 years, and we've been married for 2. So I've gotten to real estate during our relationship.
Right.
I bought my house in 2009, my first one, and I don't know, man. There was just something about like real estate that really got me, that really got me excited. Coming from an architecture background and then construction, I just feel like I'm in some kind of place to keep, because in life, like, right, like you're like 18 years old, you think that life is going to put you in one direction, and then as you get older and you move forward, like you kind of notice that things change and you have to kind of like learn how to pivot. And it just one thing from another. I just feel like this is some kind of like another step for me to get to my end goal, which is to own a building.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So, like you said, nothing's easy. Everything has, time. It takes time. I'm learning, I'm growing, and that's all I can do for now until, I get to where I need to get to.
Are you a firm believer on when people say fail forward, keep failing until you keep moving forward and being successful?
Oh yeah, man. I failed plenty of times. Like I'm the guy that tries things, and if it doesn't work, then scratch that off and then move on to the next one.
That's great. Most people don't have that mentality, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I really got to give my wife a lot of credit for that, because she, any crazy idea I have, she just like backs me up on. She's like, oh yeah, you got it. I'm like, all right, let's see.
Whatever happened with that topless shoe shine stand you guys going to start?
Which one?
The topless shoe shine stand. It didn't work out.
Which one is that? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I'm only kidding around. I said the topless shoe shine stand.
All right, man. That might be a good business.
Hell yeah, that might be a good business.
I'm about to go into stilettos or something with that idea.
Listen, whatever it is. These days, you don't know the who, what, when, and where, but as long as somebody's happy and they're good with it, you roll with it.
That's what it is, man. Life's too short to be unhappy.
100%. Guys, my guest today is Robert Coronado. If you want to reach out to Rob directly, Rob is graciously giving us his cell phone number. Ladies and some guys, he is now married, so just be careful. You can call after 10 o'clock. He didn't want to see any of those weirdo pictures, whatever. Send them on over to me. I'm only kidding. But you can reach Rob.
My wife later.
Nah, you can reach Rob directly at 201-253-6080. Rob's direct number again is 201-253-6080. You can call and text, and who knows, Rob, maybe you'll collaborate with other people that are out there that might have the same similar interests that you have, as far as, the architecture and, the management, the construction background, and from the real estate side. You never know. So that's the purpose of doing these lives at 12 o'clock. We're now doing them Tuesdays and Thursdays because I want to showcase other individuals that are in the industry and let people know that, hey, you know what? There are options out there. And take time to learn during the COVID period, although the market itself, like you said, is gone ballistic.
Oh yeah, man. It's nuts out there, No. But I just like being in different rooms around different circles, just like I said, like learning, because everyone has different ways to do things in life, and you just learn from that.
100%. So, I mean, other than real estate, we kind of covered a little bit, but other than real estate, what are you doing besides the real estate side?
Well, I got I do photography on the side. I do like real estate photography as a hobby. I do like I deal with sometimes I do like modeling, photographies, art. I like to visit museums, like to eat. And when before COVID, me and my wife, we used to go to movies and spend some time with each other. But now we Netflix it up.
Netflix and chill, right?
That's it, man. Not, you try to chill. It's hard to chill,
I
especially.
got well when you got 3 kids and 2 dogs now, it's hard to chill. But I got to get one of those buds that wow chicka wow wow. So that's good stuff. What motivates you? What makes you get up in the morning every single day with screaming kids, barking dogs, shit and pee on the floor, and your wife saying, "Rob, get up, Rob." What motivates you to get out of bed every morning?
Hey, Lennox, you gotta tell Matt that you know how to go outside.
Right.
He's like lounging. What motivates me? I got my dad does actually. My dad.
Really?
Yeah, he's it's like that's like the it's like a competition, Like I feel like it sometimes because like he came here from the Philippines, like barely know English,
Right.
and through like hard work and grind, like he was able to build himself like a multi-million-dollar empire, and that's like basically what I'm trying to go after. It's like, hey, Dad, like I can do better than you.
That's good.
But I mean, I want my son to be the same way, Like if he sees me, doing well, and I build something for him. I hope he has that kind of drive to do better than me, because after all, that's what life is, right? You want your kids to do better than you,
What does your dad do currently right now?
Well, he owns the construction company that I work for.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah. It's not easy working with family, but
Got it.
yeah. But
So, what type of projects do you guys do?
we do public works. We work for like Port Authority, New Jersey Transit, DOT, Turnpike.
Oh, so you got a big boy construction company there.
It's okay. We do okay.
How many employees does the company have?
Like if the year's busy, we can probably have up to like 30 workers on the field, and the office has like 6 or 7 guys.
Got you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I work with my 2 older sisters who that's the worst.
Oh, they work in the office?
Yeah, my 2 older sisters. They always keep me on my toes.
Got you. So when you working for the company, are you working from home or are you out in the field?
No, I'm everywhere. We have an office in Kronstadt. If I have projects going on, I'm usually there in the morning and then head back to the office.
Gotcha. So you're always bouncing around doing things.
Yeah, I'm always around.
And you're using your architectural degree within the company?
No, actually, I graduated with a major in architecture and a minor in construction management. So I'm more on the construction management side.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. So you work for a family company.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like people feel like, you're being this favoritism? Do the employees, do they take you serious or they look at you as kind of the owner?
At first, like if my dad's around and he's with me, I try not to tell people that he's my dad. Just because you don't want to be looked at like, oh, you're the son. Must be easy, right?
Right.
It's like the hardest thing working with your dad. You got to work like 90 hours a day and like 10 days a week. But yeah, no, I've thankfully I've been able to prove myself to a lot of these agencies, and they know me right now.
Well, that's good. That's important.
Yeah. No, I don't try to piggyback off of him. I gotta.
Is the intention one day to maybe take over the company, maybe buy the company for your dad?
God willing, yeah, that's the idea. Me and my sisters, we're we feel like we have what it takes to run it properly and to run it, and to do well.
You said you slipped and you said properly.
No.
Is your dad watching this right now?
No, hopefully not, man. You know, it's just we had it's
You're
old
talking
school
trash,
real
Rob. I
estate
don't like it,
principles.
Rob. I don't like it one thing. Talking trash, Rob.
It's just like old school versus new school ideas. You know, he's
By the end of this video, you're gonna be divorced,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
your
my dad's.
dad's
I'm
gonna
about
be
to
like,
get
"Rob,
fired right
you're
now.
out.
I'm about
You're
to
out,
get
Rob.
fired.
You're out."
That next family gathering is gonna be weird.
It's gonna be very weird. You're gonna be sitting
Yeah,
on the curb with a fold-out table
yeah, for real, man.
and a cardboard box. They're not even gonna give you a goddamn chair, Rob.
I was telling my best friend who's the architect, I was like, you better you better design me one of those nice cardboard boxes under the bridge.
Yeah, it's gonna come handy. It's gonna
If I
come.
ever get divorced.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think about those tiny houses? I think they're pretty badass. They're pretty cool.
I love them. Me and my best friend actually were talking about doing designing like container homes and some of those modular homes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just it's a lot of those go. It's so much easier to do them in the West Coast where
Right.
like it's always like summertime, but over here like you got to deal with like weather, so it's always a little bit trickier. But we're looking to get into something like that.
Gotcha. Well, I ask this question a lot of times of people, anybody who's really in the real estate realm. How's the market doing currently? Or how's the market, in your perception, doing right now? Real estate market.
The multifamily market is insane. It's nuts. I've only been here for 4 years, and I haven't seen anything like this. Every house any multifamily house getting over like 30 to 60 offers at a time. Single family is a little bit better, but it's just so competitive out there. And not for nothing, a lot of realtors are pretty shady, especially knowing that what the amount of money that they can make. But that's what are you gonna do?
So now, Rob, you're my day divorce. Your dad's gonna fire you, and you literally just single-handedly with that one line, you killed your goddamn career in real estate.
That's it.
I love it.
Well, I told you, I got into this business not to keep selling houses.
No, I understand
I'll burn those bridges.
I understand that. Listen, my whole thing is I don't walk across a bridge carefully, obviously. And I might fuck up the foundation a little bit of the bridge. I don't ever burn the bridge.
Yeah.
But I definitely play around with the infrastructure of the bridge. I love to try to cross back over it. I'd like to think that people understand my personality. Some people get it, some people don't. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's for my niche, my niche in this market. It's about helping others. And some people take that the wrong way. I told you before we got on here that I had an issue with an attorney because, the attorney's like, well, we're going to order a title now on the property. And I said, well, clearly you didn't look at the paperwork that your client signed when he got, into the transaction. And he clearly didn't. And, the attorney took offense to it. He took umbrage to it. And you know what? Like I said to him, it's not about you and it's not about me. Your client knew what he was getting into. So we are using the title company and your client's okay with it. And he had the attitude of, well, we'll see. And I said, well, listen, we will see because you're telling me no. But I talked to your client and he's like, kind of like, I'm an officer of the court and blah, blah, blah. And I'm an attorney and who gives a shit?
Right.
Don't call your client because your client already told me that if I had a hard time with you, sir, for you to call him because he's going to move forward one way or the other.
Right.
He didn't like it. Talk to his client. And client called me back. He said, yo, you really pissed off my attorney really bad. I'm like, cool. And he laughed. He goes, we're good. We're going to use the title company. We'll keep it moving. So
right.
I think that transaction is supposed to be closing next week. So
good for you.
Yeah, I just think it's funny how people act in the realm that we're in, what we call real estate.
Right.
It's a big sandbox. big sandbox. And I think people need to figure out how to work together. And because they don't know how to do it and they don't work well with others, it's a huge issue. Hey, let me ask you this question. There's a lot of people that are introverts that are real estate agents.
I'm super. I hate going to like those mixers, and I hate going to like those like get-togethers. But
that's okay. And first of all, I wasn't calling you an introvert, but clearly your wife is not. So,
no, she's awesome.
But that's good because you have the balance.
Yeah.
And you're both in real estate, so that works. So if somebody's hyper and they want to do certain things and they're not laid back and they're not chill, and you're not going to mesh with them as a real estate agent, it's cool to have your wife on standby.
Yeah. I mean, you're not compatible with everybody, And I don't like to fake the funk either. So
I like that. You don't like to fake the funk. I like that. So look, everything that I do with purpose. And I think people in general, and again, I say this all the time and people laugh, but if you think about it logically, you're a real estate agent, you're a 1099. You are no longer a W-2 employee.
Right.
And if you have that 9 to 5 mentality, you're never going to be successful in real estate. You're always going to be complaining about, my phone. You know how many times I've been in a meeting with a real estate agent and the phone rings and they're like, oh, I'm like, what's the matter? I'm like, oh my God, this guy wants to go to your house. I'm like, hello? Is that not how you get paid?
Right.
And some people, men, women, whatever in between, when you're in that type of service industry, you got to pick up the phone. So I might have a meeting with somebody and their phone might ring. I'm like, hey, you can pick it up. I get it.
Right.
Some people get upset because they feel like it's affecting, interacting with the flow that the conversation we're having. But it's a customer service based driven business, and you have to be there for people when they want to talk with you. So I think you're fortunate to have your wife by your side because obviously she's a little firecracker. And you need people like that in your life. You need people like that on your team. So that's important.
Yeah.
But right now, you're talking about the 2-family market share. What about the single family? Is your wife working with single families too?
Oh yeah, no. She works. She has most of our I gotta say probably about 75% of our clients are multifamily buyers. The 25% are all single, and we're finding it a lot easier to find properties for the single family buyers right now.
That's good.
Yeah, it's really good. It's just less competitive, which is fine. But thank God that we're able to sometimes we'll look for off market deals. We try to get a little creative with how to acquire some properties for clients.
That's huge. Listen, the prior preparation is going to prevent piss poor production.
Yeah.
Prior preparation will prevent piss poor production. And I think if people have that mentality, they're going to be a success no matter what they do. But real estate, it's not those things where it could be traditional, but definitely, when it's like distressed real estate, you can't fake it till you make it. And I know everybody wants 100% real estate commission. Nobody wants to pay fees and stuff like that. But if you really don't know what to do and you're not well educated in this area, there's nothing wrong with going to work with an agency for a year on a split if they're going to give you something of value. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah. I mean, my first year, I worked under Vanessa. We halved everything. She showed me some things, and I'm forever grateful for that. And then once I got my legs going, I was able to get more clients that I can take on, and I had my wife jump on. So and then she'd work with me, and I kind of basically what I learned from Vanessa, I passed it on, and so forth. And so you have to learn. Everyone wants to come in here and start selling like multi-million-dollar homes. It just doesn't happen that way. You gotta, I went out and I looked at homes without even having any clients, just so I can learn how to walk around them, learn about utilities, structure, and stuff like that, and what to look for. So, I go to open houses just to see, and I do a lot of open houses in the first year. I know people don't like to do them, but I do them just to get because since I am an introvert, I have to kind of like learn how to initiate communication with, future clients and people like that. So,
Funny story. One of my brother-in-laws is probably 10 times worse than you as far as being an introvert. Now he has a job where he literally has to be on the phone all day long. He's crushing it.
yeah.
But during the day, he's like, I think of you often. I'm like, hey, man, that's weird. And he starts laughing. He goes, no, I think about you because you love talking to people. You like figuring out like what makes people tick and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like, you like offering, value and stuff. So that actually helps me get through the day, which, you know what? I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that, he was okay with himself to actually put that out there. I think people are so guarded all the time. They're so worried about what other people are thinking about them as an individual. I think they lose sight of what is their value. Like when you get up in the morning, I don't know if you do this or not, but when I look at myself in the mirror, I am my only competition. I don't look at other people's competition. I look at other individuals as opportunity. And by doing that, that mindset, again, made my business explode because there are other individuals that are doing short sales. I don't think they're doing it to offer the value that I offer. I don't think they're offering the education that I'm offering.
Right.
When I talk about the rules, regulations, and guidelines, on the bottom of the screen, we changed our event. Our event was supposed to be in the summer. Then we switched it to October. Now we've actually switched it to an online event because we want people to understand, like, look, there are things that people need to know. There's individual information. And people are like, hey, I want to train with you. Well, I think you need to take the class for the online, for the boot camp, get the basics.
Right.
See if it's something you really want to be involved in. Because you know what, Rob? The area of expertise that you and I are in right now, that is not for everybody. Not everybody understands that. You're fortunate. Your wife is fortunate because you understand the architectural side. You understand the business development side. You understand the construction side. Not many people have that. And they have this whole like mentality of, I got to get that paycheck. I got to get that commission. And one thing I'm going to let you answer, I'm going to ask you a question, but I'm going to give you a perfect example of somebody who doesn't want to go that extra mile. Yesterday, my wife and I went to Home Depot. During the pandemic, we tackled one of the biggest projects in our life that was going to be the cross to burn. Or rip us apart from our inner loins and make us get a divorce was our garage. You want to talk about storage wars meets like the biggest hoarder?
Yeah.
So we threw a lot of shit out.
Oh my God.
We got shelving. Bro, it looks like a goddamn showcase now. Now, we needed one more unit. We didn't know. We needed one more unit. We go back. And then there's greeters at some of the Home Depot. And this person, I was asking somebody specifically, hey, look, over here in the corner, you guys used to have the storage unit. I see you have the metal ones up, but I really would like the plastic one. Right off the bat, the person was like, we don't carry them anymore.
Oh, yeah.
The other person that was standing there said, oh, no, go all the way back. See where it says organizers, organization, whatever it is. So, yeah, he goes, check those two aisles there. He goes, I think we have a couple left. You know what? We walk back there. Thank God that other guy was there to tell us to go back. There was two left.
Right.
Now, they were the wrong size. They were the bigger version, but it's what we needed, but it was the bigger version.
Right.
But the other person was so quick to say no because they wanted to end the conversation. That's what happens, I believe, in the distressed real estate side. People don't know. They're not educated. And they really shouldn't have the right to speak their mind and give people bad information. I'm sure you've seen it, Rob. You and I've had conversations. You've given these people to speak with for them to know their options. And I know for a fact, not everybody's going to want to work with my company. Not everybody's going to work with me. I've actually said, look, if we can't work together, that's okay.
Right.
Go work with so and so. Because for me, I'm not interested in fraud. I'm not interested in defrauding the bank, not telling the seller really what their rights are, what their options are. But there's a lot of people that are out there that are like that. My question to you is, Rob, what are you seeing out there with the distressed side of the market? Because you asked me, do I see it coming back? Well, with a vengeance. What are you seeing out there right now with people in distress? Are you seeing a lot of it or not?
I'm not seeing it all, actually.
Okay.
I have friends that own multifamily homes, and all their tenants are paying, which is, I know that's fortunate, because I know a lot of people aren't. And that's yeah, I'm not really seeing it. So that's why I went to you. I'm sure you probably have better insight than I do, or maybe it's it's local, or it's more of like a nationwide situation. What's going to happen in the next 2 or 3 years? Because I think everyone from New York City are coming here, and I don't know. I just can't see it.
So you had asked me what my thoughts were on COVID-19.
Yeah.
All right. So now what? The problem is that I think that a lot of homeowners themselves are petrified to speak with their banks. They don't know what to say. Matter of fact, I've had people reach out to me. I don't understand why I'm getting foreclosure notice. I should be protected by this whole thing with COVID-19. Well, did you ever contact your lender? No. Well, if you don't contact your lender and explain to them what's going on, you're not going to be protected by it. So now those people actually put themselves in a worse situation because they listened to somebody that wasn't an authority in the industry. Like for me, I look at you as an authority because you have different facets in the industry and you understand. But it all leads back to one thing. You want to acquire these properties. You want to be able to fix these properties and turn these properties. The problem I find with the distress side is that the agents are so commission driven that they're not giving the proper advice, or maybe they're being selfish, not selfless, and they're giving bad advice. And I've actually not have heard of the agent themselves, but I've heard homeowners say, "Oh, don't worry about it. You don't have to. You don't have to call your bank. You're going to be protected underneath whatever happens with the COVID virus." That's bullshit. So I think ignorance is bliss. People could be like that. And that's another reason why I pushed to put this thing online with the boot camp. Now, you went to the boot camp in 2019.
Yeah.
What was your impression when you were there?
I loved it, man. The energy was good. The information was awesome, and it was very informative. I was locked in for the 2 days that it had happened,
Right.
And I hate going to those workshops because I feel like most of the time it's just pointless. But that one was really good. It got me like, I didn't get to know the whole, but gave me like an insight of what you do in that realm, and that's I gotta give it. Yeah, I gotta give it to you, man. It's a lot of work.
That whole event that made me shocked. I'm not gonna lie. After that event, obviously we got a lot of transactions out of it.
Yeah, good.
That wasn't my idea of the event. My idea of the event was to educate people and let them know about it. But it worked out really well. I think it worked out for a lot of people, and it brought a lot more light of people to know that there's somebody out there that's willing to ask. When I talk with people and I tell people put me in a hot seat, it's because I want to offer a scenario. The scenario is either going to work or it's not.
Right.
So if I can make it easier for a real estate agent for them to understand what's going to work and what's not going to work, why have all the pressure on yourself? Take the pressure off you. Guys, our guest today is Robert Coronado. He's a real estate agent. He works for a construction company, aka we're not allowed to talk about family home. And he's a project manager. He's a husband. He's a father of 3. He's a father of two dogs. And he's somebody who I have to tell you, man, I kind of look up to you because you could have given away the 9 to 5 or whatever the hours that you work with the with the construction side. You could have gone full blast with the real estate side, but you've got a couple of things going on. You got the photography, you've got the construction, you've got the real estate. You know, obviously being a spouse is a full-time job as well, and being a father. So you could have taken the easy way out, but you didn't. If you want to get in contact with Rob directly, and you want to find out more about Rob and find out what makes him tick, and you want to work with him as a real estate agent, or maybe the construction side, or maybe you want him to take, you know, pictures or video of you. That's obviously, you guys could talk about whatever type of pictures you want to take. That's cool. You can reach Rob directly at 201-253-6080. Rob's direct number again. You can text and call. Just don't call after 10 at night. 201-253-6080. Rob, anything else you want to add to let people know about yourself?
No, not really. I'm not really too good with talking about myself.
Not a problem.
No, but thanks for having me, man. This is awesome.
Absolutely, 100%. Rob, at the end of every single one of these lives, I ask people if they can emulate and do the finger point. Let me see if you can do it.
How you do it? You do it like this.
I get the tilt going, but you know what? I'm going to give you a 7, man, because you know you seemed really excited about doing the finger point. You know, you were like,
I do that to my kids.
You do the finger point.
Fucking, you do that shit again. You do that shit.
I got you. No cold diapers. Nobody's getting beat.
No, not at all. Oh, my wife said, "Look, come here, say hi to Matt." He didn't even want to talk to me. It was like he was talking about you the whole time.
Hi.
What's up?
How are you?
How are you?
Good.
You out there killing it. I see your video. I see your open houses and everything that you're doing. You're having a good time out there helping people.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm lucky. I'm the lucky one here.
You are the lucky one. Absolutely, remember that.
That's terrible.
Hey, you know what? Happy wife, happy life.
Oh.
That's what they say. Guys,
Rob
Coronado is my guest today. Thank you so much, Rob, for coming on. And a little pop-up of his wife there. That was great at the end there. If you have any questions, reach Rob directly at 201-253-6080. This live will be this live's going to be up forever. And so, you know, at a later date, Rob, you can reference it and be like, I probably shouldn't have said that on that live.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell my whole family to just kind of like not watch this.
Take care, my guy. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
You too. Be good. Bye.